Hey everyone, what's up? Rinkus here from Dragonic. We got a little something special for you guys today. Coming at you with some deck profiles. One of many. Now this is a deck that I've been tinkering with since it came out, and it's gotten a lot of support. I mean, not a lot, but inherently it's gotten support from V and and all the other past sets. But I'm talking about Blademaster. That's right, we're going to take a look at my iteration of Dragonic Blademaster. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't play this deck competitively. I build these decks for fun. So that way when I play a test against anyone, they don't, feel like they're being completely outclassed or anything like that, because all this, V stuff in the premium is pretty crazy. So I try to play something that's going to give them a challenge, but at the same time, it won't make them not want to play. So I'm not going to play like a Gize deck against them, So we're going to start off with the grade 3s. I play 4 of the Wyvern Strike Jongos. I mean, it's a pretty good card on rearguard, but like other than that, unless you're absolutely stuck and it's the only grade 3 in your hand, that's the only time you'll ride it. You'll always want to go into the next grade 3. I tried my best when building this deck. Again, it's not competitive, but I tried to make it on a level where it has the potential to give my opponents a challenge competitively. But it's not specifically made to go against a competitive deck. So I decided to go with these because it has the ability to do that. And it's Kagero, and your opponent's going to usually always have open rear guards. And then the next grade 3, self-explanatory. It's not a Blademaster deck without 3 Blademaster Coens. All in all, I think he's really good. You barely run out of stride fodder. After your first stride, you're usually going to always have the ability to grab a unit from the drop zone to hand with the requirements. Rare times, I do have to give up, 1 or 2 or 3 cards in at once to stride. That's the struggle stride. It happens. It's Vanguard, but all in all, Blademaster Coen, good stuff. I really like it. That's one of the reasons why I built the deck. Going on to grade 2s. For Dragonite Mundi, I feel that he's one of the staples in the deck for as far as grade 2s go. Merely for the fact that he allows you to take advantage of all the open rearguard circles that your opponent is about 96% guaranteed to have. And if anyone has any kind of feedback that they want to give me, any ideas, feel free to leave them in the comments section. I do not mind even constructive criticism. Even if you don't like the deck, you can tell me, I don't like your build. It's fine. It's all right. I'm not going to nastily reply to you. We here at Dragonic, we're not gonna come down on you because you have an opinion about one of our decks. So if you don't like it, that's cool. You're commenting. That's what matters to us. The next grade 2 is gonna seem like really weird. But I decided to play 1 Dragonite Yasser just for those random times where your opponent has a column that you don't like. If there's a Laurel on the right or left hand side on the far columns, this can allow you to get rid of the whole entire column. Other than that, it just doesn't have any other capabilities aside from the Blaze ability, and it also stops your opponent from being able to intercept. I mean, that's all right, but your opponent's usually not going to have any units in the front row, because those are the ones you usually snipe, especially when you're playing a Kagero deck. The next one was a personal choice of mine. Abyss Custody Dragon from V format. While you're probably thinking I should play more. I don't want to do that because the deck's not solely focused around gaining abilities off of retiring my opponent's stuff. This is just in here as a slight defense mechanism for, when I want to ride a grade 2, and if I have this in hand and I have another grade 2 that I'd rather have on rearguard, like Mubdi, for instance, I'll ride this. And, I mean, it's pretty good defense. That's pretty much why I play it. And I can attack your rearguards and it can power up. On the next grade 3, I believe this... the next grade 2, I believe this grade 2 is the most important piece of the deck. Dragonite Nadim. This deck suffers heavily from a lot of counterblasts. You will use 3 to 4 counterblasts if you're not careful in one turn. Sometimes for maybe 2 effects. This kind of lightens the load a little bit. Makes it so you can use your counterblast more often, and it can pressure your opponent. Granted, it won't be able to hit Force and Excel clans, and Protect clans, and any decks that play higher than an 11k body for Vanguard. But it's still a pressure mechanism nonetheless. It's going to make your opponent decide, okay, should I guard this, or should I give him that counterblast for those, for those G guards that he has that are really good. All right. And the last grade 2, I play 3 of the Berserk Dragon. I mean, it's a staple. I know I'm not playing this deck competitive, but like I said, the deck is set up to give my opponents a challenge. Even though it's a fun build and a fun deck, and I'm trying to have a fun game, it's still, I want to give them a challenge so that way they can see what's going on with their own deck. And they can get a glimpse into, possibly playing against an Overlord deck. Or if they go against another deck that does mass retiring, they know somewhat how to handle it. And he's really good. Berserk Dragon's amazing. Alright, going into the grade 1s. I used to play more than one copy of this card that I'm about to show you, but in light of a couple other things that you'll be seeing soon, I decided to play one copy of Dragon Knight Nibal, just so that way there I can still have that weird, tricky way of automatically countercharging. And it's a pretty good booster, too. You can make it for 11k. And there will hardly ever be a time where you will not retire a rear guard. So as long as you have this on the rear guard before you retire, his effect will proc. I would not play 0 of this card. I would play at least 1. For now, I'm playing the 1 because of some of the other things that I have in the deck, like I mentioned earlier. The next grade 1 is, yes, you guessed it, Flame of Hope, Ermo. This is yet another way for this deck to recycle and reuse more resources. Overlord has some of the best counterchargeability in the world in the form of Lizard General Conroe. And what I tried to do is sort of keep that in with the Blademaster deck. And Ermo was the only card that really had the same kind of feel that Conroe did. So, I mean, that's not only the reason why I put it in here. It's 10k shield. This deck obviously suffers from a lot of defense. So with the new V stuff, it does help it a lot. So Ermo is definitely a very good choice. Then this card right here is one of my personal favorites. And I remember a time when it was almost $9 for this rare. And that's Energy Flame Athonic. Sorry, I don't ever read the names before I do this. Anyway, this can happen either during your turn or during your opponent's turn. So when you Denial Griffin them, you can use this afterwards to recycle what resources you need back. And it's another soul. So for those very few cards in your deck that require the Soul Blast, this recycles that too. That's the reason why I don't play more than one of the other Dragon Knight Grade 1, the first one that you saw. Alright. Now, I do not play V Perfect Guards in this deck. The reason, and it's just a personal thing for me, but it's a huge reason. There's pretty much 2 reasons. But the huge reason is because this has more versatility than the other ones. The other one is just play it, discard, Perfect Guard. This one, if I have more than one copy in the drop zone, or 1 or more actually, I get plus 15k shield. So this is a 1-card 15k shield. Granted, yes, there's a lot of decks and a lot of cards in the game, especially in Premium, that prevent me from playing Sentinels. But that's fine. This is still an easy way to guard a rear guard, especially if I don't have the card in my hand to discard, or if I'm very limited on resources and the card that I would have to discard for the Protect cost would benefit me the turn after. That's why I play 3 of it. And some of you are probably wondering why I only play 3. Well, this is the reason. I play 1 copy of Escort Dragon Attendant Rias. Now, the reason I play this is because it's a perfect guard that I can call to rear guard and then recycle it back to my hand. And it has the Blaze ability. So in case on those off chances where I'll forget to do the Blaze, I can do it later on in the same battle phase. Most of the time, I assure you, I don't forget to. And tomorrow, we will have a couple more videos up. I will do some gameplay with this deck. So that way there you guys can see exactly what I mean and what I do when I play the deck. All right, the final grade 3 is 3 Stride Enabler. It's not a Blademaster deck without... You can't not play Lava Flow Dragon if you're playing Blademaster. I mean, if it's a player preference, though, you can choose not to do that. But if you do, then you're losing out on a lot of ability to search for your main grade 3. And that's very important, especially in a deck that revolves around Blademaster. And no, I did think about playing the original Blademaster grade 3, but it does not do anything for the deck at all. Oh boy, I get +5 in a crit when I have more rear guards than you. 90% of the time, I'm going to have more rear guards than you, but I'm going to be on a Stride. So it doesn't matter. That's the reason why I don't play the old Blademaster. Now, moving on to grade 0s. The starter I play is Lizard Soldier Conroe. Self-explanatory. I mean, for Blademaster, I felt at the time that this was the best grade 0 behind another one that I was considering that kind of like recycles resources and countercharges. But I wanted to go with this so that way there I have a guaranteed way of searching for whatever grade 1 or less that I need. And if I really wanted to, I could switch just to a GB8 turbo build with, I don't know why, but it would just be something really interesting. But the main reason I play this is so I can search out, the key grade 1s that I need in order to do whatever plays I need to. Now, going on to triggers. I play a 2-2 split of the countercharge, soul charge heal, and the V heal. I didn't want to go 4 of either one as of right now because I wanted to test it out and see how it works. And also because I'm not trying to make this, heavily powerful. Just enough to, like I said in all the other times, give my opponents a challenge. And I'll be honest with you, most of the games that I've played with this deck, I would be in a winning position, and then for some reason I would just lose. You're probably going to say, yeah, but it's because you're playing Blademaster. That's not the reason. Luck is definitely a factor in that. Getting double critted when you're at, 3 damage, it sucks balls. But yeah, and it's for more versatility. That's why I play the split. Alright, the rest of the triggers are going to seem very weird. We got 3 draws. Gotta have some draw power. 6 crit. Not trying to go too heavy on crits, but have enough in the deck. Even if I draw some of them, I still have some to go on. And I think one of the best cards in the deck, in the main deck, is Inspire Yell Dragon. The first time I ever topped in an ARG event was over in New Jersey at Computer and Gaming Universe. Shoutouts to that store. I played Overlord, and my Overlord deck played 4 copies of this. And you have no idea how good this card was. In general, Kagero does not have many triggers that go back to the deck. This is one of the very few that's actually good, that doesn't require you to have a crazy stipulation, like after it boosts and the attack hit, Soul Blast 1 and return it to deck. No. This one just says, when your Vanguard becomes blazing, throw it to the bottom of the deck, draw a card, choose a unit, give it 5k, shuffle. Simple. Simple. So it's going to be a little difficult for you to actually deck out. If you damage them, of course, then you don't get them back. But that's without being said. Alright, now we're going to move on to the G-Zone. I'm pretty sure this is the most important thing that you guys want to see. I will start off with the G-Guards. Now, the way that I play the G-Guards is a little weird, but this would probably be the same way, plus 1 more G-Guard if I were to play Overlord. So I play 2 Dragon Knight, Divine Dragon Knight, Arabisarin. Now, again, this is another card that I played in Overlord when I was playing the deck when it came out, and I'm going to tell you right now, this card is so good. So good. You can follow up with it after a Denial Griffin, or if your opponent doesn't choose to play any rear guards, plus 30, 40, 50k shield. Even with the V triggers, it's super difficult to pass a freaking 65k shield. It's very difficult, and I've had people do that to me, and it's so annoying. But nonetheless, it's very good. And then you cannot play Kagero without Denial Griffin.
Flaming Chicken!
Flaming Chicken, yes, thank you.
Welcome.
Flaming Chicken is awesome. There is no other G-Guard that can do...
another Flaming Chicken.
No, I was going to say there's not another G-Guard that can do what this does.
Flaming Chicken.
This is the reason why I didn't top in a Bushiroad event when I was playing Nightmare Dolls. And I did that, I think it was 2015 or 2016 when I played Nightmare Dolls.
I am Groot, flaming chicken.
I was 2 rounds away from topping. I lost to Gear Chronicle, and then I lost to Kagero. The Gear Chronicle that I lost to was the Time Leap version. So on his first stride, he got 11 attacks, and I just didn't get any defensive triggers, and I lost. So there was nothing I could do. And then the next match that I played was Kagero right after that, and I lost. Because Denial Griffin, it just, I'd have Alice on the rear guard, and I just die. But my point being, you just can't play Kagero without Denial Griffin. If you don't have Denial Griffin, that's fine. You should be able to pick them up relatively cheap. If I see anybody, or I see any of our viewers at the events that I go to, and you do not have Denial Griffins, come to me. I have plenty of them. Not SP though, but I have plenty of Denial Griffins. I know there's a couple people that I've actually met that didn't have Denial Griffins, and I felt really bad that I didn't have any extra that I could just give them. Alright, moving on to the rest of the strides. 1 Supreme Heavenly Emperor Dragon. I'm not going to read the rest of the name because it's long as heck. Standard first stride. Depending on if I go first with the grade 3 and if I G-Guard, I'll probably go into Zygenberg. But other than that, it's self-explanatory. When act, once per turn, counter blast 1, flip anything up in the G-Zone. You get the ability Auto Vanguard when you attack the Vanguard. When you attack, you retire a unit and draw a card. This helps with the possible lack of cards that you could have in your hand early game. Sometimes people will rush you if you're playing Kagero, and Blademaster doesn't really have that much early retirement aside from the Berserk Dragon. That's it. So some people will fall for that and try to rush me. I play 1 GB8. I had 6 G-Guards in the deck. It was the G-Guard flip, but I just took it out because it doesn't really do anything right now for my personal taste. So I decided to put a GB8 in just for those off chances that the game goes really grindy and I can just troll them with GB8. And then this is the one card that I will forever play in almost every Kagero build that I ever play for premium. The Novel, the Trends, Transcendence Divine Dragon, Novel Vague El Express. When I saw this card spoiled, I knew it was going to be good. Being able to make your opponent so you can't guard with grade 1s, and you can also, depending on the situation you have, opponent having 5 damage, you can negate their trigger effects. This is a pretty good push for final game. Now, the second to last stride that I play, 4 Ziegenberg. I've seen a lot of people play 3 or even 2. I feel that with the way that I play the deck, and I'm playing Blademaster, I want 4 of these. Yes, it's probably because it fits the Blaze mechanic, but that's not the whole reason. This card is very versatile. It scares your opponent. You can retire stuff, is what this deck is supposed to do. And then you get to restand. I mean, there's been so many times that I've had my opponent has no rear guards, and I'm just like, free restand. It's going to happen. Then the final stride that I play is one of my personal preferences and one of my personal favorites. Blademaster Titan. I do not play an Ultimate Stride in this deck. Now, I chose Titan. I chose 3 Titan over playing only 2 Titan and the Ultimate Stride because I do not want a Zeroth Dragon in the deck because it's not competitive. If you put a Zeroth Dragon in the deck, most of the time you're trying to go competitive or you're trying to give yourself that competitive edge. And I'm not doing that. I'm trying to go a little bit further away from that, like I said in many minutes before. But Titan gives that additional ability, it retires stuff and it has that pressure mechanism for the +1 crit. And most of the time, I'll just use that first stride to flip one of these up, and then I'll Titan every turn after that if I need to. Or then I'll Ziegenberg once, and then I'll Titan, then I'll Ziegenberg, then I'll Titan. It just really, there's so many ways that you can do it. But with that being said, that is it for the deck profile. I want to thank all of our lovely viewers and our lovely subscribers for watching our videos and supporting us. We are working on a few things pertaining to some giveaways and what milestones need to be achieved for that. And I'm pretty sure Joker mentioned it in a couple videos before. I just don't remember exactly where. But we will keep you posted on that. We have a lot of catching up to do. And we're going to be catching up this weekend. We have a lot of videos. This is one of many. So with that being said, this is Rinku from Dashi Guard saying, peace out.